I'm gonna be honest, this worked way better than I anticipated it would. This is a little crazy. So listen, it's no mystery that July is a really slow time when it comes to the video game industry. It just is. Not many games come out. There's very few updates for games. The updates that are coming tend to get delayed. It's just one of those times of year. Everybody shows off everything they've got in June, and then July is just empty. So I wanted to go back and play some games that I know and that I love, but with a fresh little spin. And a new mod was just uploaded a couple of weeks ago for The Witcher 3 that aims to do something pretty ambitious. And that's this mod right here, custom player characters. This is fresh out the oven, uploaded by Nikitch340, I believe is roughly how you pronounce it. And it was originally posted on July 6th. It was just updated yesterday as of the time I'm filming this video, and I've installed it. Basically, it lets you create your own player character or select from different ones you've downloaded through mods and play with them through the entirety of The Witcher 3. Now, of course, there are some things here and there that might be a little bit clunky, some conversations or cutscenes that don't play out quite right, but on the whole, it just lets you play as a totally different character if you want to, which is crazy. They've even gone so far as to synthesize female voices for Geralt with the whole dialogue trees and everything. So if you want to play through like cutscenes and stuff, the voices will reflect your player character choice, as you can see here.
So long.
It took a second for her to say anything, but you get what I mean. Like, they've actually taken those steps to give you female voices if you choose a female character and so on and so forth. Now, basically how this works is once you've installed the mod, there is going to be a little potion in your inventory, if you go over here, called Chameleon. Now, you'll also notice that I'm using a level 2 character. That's because if you happen to choose to use this mod yourself, it will permanently like break your save if you try to stop using this mod. So just be careful if you're going to use this on like a save you've had forever or that's super high level or something. Once you use this mod, there is no going back. So just be ready for that. You can change it back to Geralt and just never uninstall the mod. But if you ever uninstall the mod, it's just going to break everything. So proceed with caution. But to actually use this, you're going to hit X to consume it. And then we back out of the menus and it will go into a selection screen. It'll tell you different mods that you could add to enhance your experience or what have you. And then after you proceed through, you get these options here. You'll see you can change player type. This means that you can select going back to Geralt Vanilla or play as Ciri. You can play as a Witcher that's customizable or as a sorceress. The sorceress option actually allows you to have a slightly altered combat system that's further modded. It's kind of beyond the scope for this video, but that is there if you choose to pursue it. It's available to you. But for this, if we go Witcher customizable and then we load in here, you can see you can select all sorts of different things. So if I go in here and I select change slot templates, I can then go and change the head to whatever I want. So I can select like DLC secondary characters and swap out heads based on what is in the game currently and choose the character from there, customizing it to my heart's content. Or if I want to play as a female character, I can go back and select Witcheress customizable. And once I do that, I get to select all of the different appearance options from the selection of female templates that are in the game. So basically what you're doing is you're picking pieces from different spots in the game. Secondary characters here, you can select all sorts of different characters. Uma, if you want for some reason to play as a giant Uma, you could do that. I guess just to demonstrate it, I could select it. And then if we back out, back, and we just go with it just for the memes, I guess. Back, exit, and then yeah, we're playing as a gigantic Uma. And that's our playable character. Or if I want to swap it out, do this stuff, I can do that. Maybe I want to swap back out the head option because I don't like all the blood. And so I maybe go DLC main characters and I select something a little bit more straightforward, just a Novigrad citizen, back out. And then this is my playable character from thenceforth. Now, part of the reason that this is so pertinent right now is because there have been many rumors and much speculation that the next Witcher game is not actually going to have Geralt as the main character. In fact, that's not even speculation, that's been confirmed. But what hasn't been confirmed is whether it will be a game that features a customizable character or if it's going to have like a named character, if you're going to play as Ciri. We just don't really know yet. A lot of people think it's going to have the customizable character based on a bunch of other rumors and speculation. But as of right now, it's still pretty up in the air. What I will say, though, is going back through The Witcher 3 with a custom character like this does let you see how that could potentially go. And I actually really am excited at the prospect of it, because one of the things that people often point to with The Witcher 3 is that it's a great RPG, it's a great role-playing game, but fundamentally it doesn't have the same levels of, say, freedom and customization in the narrative as you would see with other games like, say, a Baldur's Gate 3. And that's because they are following established lore, they're following things that have already been written in the books and novels, and so they can't really give you total absolute freedom to just play as like a serial killer or total sociopath, which makes sense. Like, I'm not saying I would necessarily want to play that way, but part of like a fully open and free RPG is that you can play as a maniac if you want to. However, if they were to go the route of a fully open world, fully customizable RPG set in the universe of The Witcher, I think that would lead to some really interesting opportunities for them. And I mean, we saw how well it worked out when they had the foundations laid with like Cyberpunk 2077. So just imagine what they could do on Unreal Engine 5 with years and years of dev time, and I'm sure a budget that is on par with many countries' GDP. Let's see how this works when we're talking to somebody.
Depends what you're after.
Just a little shrug. Like a classical RPG, she just kind of goes, eh. You kind of read it yourself.
It's the same as any other.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Honestly, that's not a bad way of doing it. I think if you are going to do this as a mod, it makes sense. Hey, dude, you've... he gambled his pants away. Honestly, I think if you're going to do this with a mod like that, that's probably a good way of doing it. Just make the character, like, say what was selected, but leave it up to the player to actually read it and fill in the gaps from there. I think that's a fine way of doing it. But you know what this mod also made me realize is just how hungry I am for another good fix of The Witcher. You know, I just need that in my life. I thought the Netflix show was gonna do that for me, and then, I mean, like, we all know how that ended. So I'm kind of anxiously awaiting whatever CDPR is working on, though, to be honest, it's still probably years and years away. I'm not expecting it to come anytime soon, but it would be real nice if it did. Real nice. I will say the last like 5 runs of The Witcher 3 I've done have been on Death March, so getting hit by somebody and not dropping dead is weird to me. It's just weird. I selected normal difficulty when I made this save earlier today, and now I'm like, what is happening? But anyway, I'm hoping that whatever we see next for the Witcher series is good, for one, and I hope it comes soon, because it's such a shame what happened with the Netflix show. I mean, it was like started really solid season 1. Season 2, I was like, where's The Witcher? I thought this show was called The Witcher, not the Frangilla Hour. And then season 3 was season 3, and now we're going to season 4 and 5 and everything. I'm totally checked out, and I don't really care anymore. But I hope we get something else, because it looks like we may have to wait so far as like 2027 to 2028 before we see the next Witcher game. Most likely it's going to be like a PlayStation 6, Xbox Series, Phil Spencer, whatever it's called. And I appreciate that it's going to be next gen and it's going to be really beautiful and amazing and technologically super advanced, but I don't want to have to wait that long. Like, come on, man. I got TikTok brain. I don't have an attention span. I can't wait that long. Speaking of TikTok brain, look at how easily distractible the game is now. This is running totally cranked with all of the like bells and whistles turned on, with all the ray traced reflections and ray traced lighting. You can see right above her head the drowner walking around up in the forest. You can see it way off in the distance. There's just so much detail packed into the game now. It's like a different thing entirely. Like, look at the water between the reeds. Man, it's beautiful enough to give you just a taste of what a truly next-gen version of The Witcher would be like. And man, I cannot wait for it. So I guess that's what this video's goal is to just give you a taste of what the future may bring, and then make you really sad that it's very, very far away. You're welcome. Thanks for watching. But that's going to do it for me. Thank you for watching. I just wanted to share this with you because I thought it was really cool. And if you're interested, I'll have the mod linked below in the description box, so you can head over there, download it yourself, endorse the mod, support him, because this is amazing and awesome. And it's going to be interesting to play through more of the game just with a slightly different perspective now that you can customize your character. I recommend you check it out. And of course, if you want to support me and my team more directly, we just launched a Patreon with the 8-hour Starfield video that we put out. And if you support over there, you get access to those big videos early. You get to vote on the next one, which we are about to settle on. It actually looks like it may be a big breakdown of The Witcher 3 and the DLC. We're going to kind of revisit it because I'm not super happy with the critiques I made back in the day, like 7 years ago. So I want to revisit them and kind of redo them from a fresh, modern perspective, which everybody loves, right? Like, Disney's done that. Everything's through a modern lens. I'm sure it'll end up great. But do not feel obligated to do that. I'm just glad you're watching these videos and hopefully, fingers crossed, enjoying them. Thank you for watching. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the subscriptions. Thanks for all of that stuff. You guys are amazing. I love you all desperately, and I'll see you in the next video. Hugs and kisses. Bye-bye.